We're going cycling in this evening, just trying to find a nice new place by the beach, sit and have a drink there. This is Hua Hin, cows in your backyard. The route we're going to take is in total about just 5 kilometers. Going to the road along the canal through the small sois, make a U-turn at the main road, and then go to Soi 47 through this nice little neighborhood down to the beach. We're starting here at home, and it's been raining a lot recently, so the dirt roads are in really bad conditions, but it's just a short stretch till we reach the proper main road. Lots of street dogs here. It's now about 6 o'clock in the evening and still about 30 degrees Celsius or around 90 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's not cold definitely, but it's not too hot either. So with the sun already coming down and a bit of wind going, it's fairly relaxing. And here at the drop-off spot for our garbage, you see one of the things that surprised me really in Hua Hin, how without any recycling system, just because of the value of the raw materials, everything will be recycled. So you've got people collecting bottles, paper, separating it and selling it based on kilo prices, and they can make a living of that. Surely it's not great, but they will have enough money to eat. They will be out almost all day, but yeah, it seems to be a way to make a living, and it still works to get the trash sorted. As you can see here, you probably can't really see in the video, but from this road is sloping downwards all the way, so can make a really good speed. I got people jogging here in the neighborhood as well. This is the nice thing about the evening hours. When it gets colder, you can do sport, be outside without being just overwhelmed by the heat. There's also the football pitch on the right side, very, very popular with the Thais here. Almost every day you see people playing in the evening. Again, you see, can almost keep up with the motorbikes here on the way down. So it's great start to the ride. Coming back, sometimes not so much. So if you go a bit too far, going back up this small mountain, 5 minutes straight up can be quite tiring. But yeah, now we make our way down past few of these small shops, one doing electrical repairs and selling used electrical appliances. So again, something you don't really see in other parts of the world anymore, where nothing gets repaired basically. Here it still works. So if you have an issue, always worth checking if it can be repaired. Can be quite cost effective for mainstream products. They will not order anything special. They will just take it out of another broken piece of equipment and solder it back together, and it might just work. And along this road you see quite a few different kinds of houses, really proper pool villas, small just small housing, school. The blue building on the right is the local elementary school. Small shops selling fruit, vegetables, barbecue, new coffee on the right side here. So there's always something going on. This still really surprised me, how much construction is still ongoing, and people are still always trying to find a new business that might just work. So yeah, one of the lucky things probably about Hua Hin is that it is dependent on tourism clearly, but about 70% of the tourism is domestic. So mostly people from Bangkok coming here for just a relaxing weekend. That's also why you see lots of traffic still. more than every second number plate you see is actually from Bangkok. So that probably helps. That the economic effect of the COVID pandemic here in Hua Hin isn't as strong as in other parts. That's not to say that people aren't suffering. Um, Lots of our friends have at least some periods of unemployment right now, which is fairly uncommon. It used to be the case that you could, um, for any basic kind of jobs, if it's not a major career with something really specialized. So for basic jobs, it used to be if you don't like your colleagues, you just quit on the same day and start a new job again on the same day. So that used to be the case. That's clearly not the case anymore. So yeah, people with jobs that are related to the international tourism. So yeah, in the more upscale hotels, some of the foreign restaurants there, cooks, waiters, all of that would have been probably not completely stopped because there's still some business, but the level of employment is dialed down. Going along this road along the canal here on the right side, you've got two flood canals. So these are really important, especially in rain season. Um, right now it's still good, but for the next days we're supposed to get a bit of a typhoon and some heavy rain. So if there's anything interesting, I might just come down here and have a look if we can get some pictures of the extent of the flooding. Shouldn't be something too great, so it's a common occurrence in around this area because all the water from the mountains will accumulate in this area along the canals. So houses over here would have yeah, their entrances raised a bit so that um, normal levels of flooding won't affect anybody really. So it will just be the roads underwater and still make for quite some interesting pictures. Yeah, and cycling along the main road in the evening rush hour um, is a bit busy. So as soon as we can, we'll just try to go through the smaller sois, turn left. But along the way here, you got many shops for everything you need. Really, um, you've got the flower markets, you've got your DIY stores, everything for construction, and also a few of the 20 baht stores or dollar stores that would be known uh, in other parts of the world, or €1 stores like that. That they offer actually quite a lot of the half a euro or half a dollar stuff. So everything that's cheap comes from China, made of plastic. You'll find it there, but depending on the size of the stores, their offer extends to small pieces of furniture. Again, nothing higher class, but most of it is fairly durable considering how cheap it is. So if you're just looking for a small table or a garden chair or um, just a barbecue or something like that, for these kind of things, these shops are really great. And or yeah, everything around your house or garden hose, all these kind of things, you can just cut the lengths you need, get it there, and you don't have to buy it at like 10 times the prices you would have at a Home Pro big DIY store. Yeah, and you still see how busy it is, right? All the cars um, along the road, all the shops, there's still something going on. So Hua Hin definitely as a city with a strong local population is very much alive. You see less foreigners, but that doesn't mean for Hua Hin it doesn't mean that the city itself is really quiet. If you would continue on, you would come to the Per Mai night market on Tuesdays, but we're going to take a left turn here. Um, again, some small shops, nice food court here on the right, great street food. And as we go along, there's also on the right side, the taller building there is where we ordered our curtains for our home. Um, bit overpriced, but fairly professional with dealing with the foreigners here. And now we are crossing the train tracks. Over the next years, the train tracks or the crossings should all be elevated roads. So you see these being constructed at various places. So this time we didn't have to wait for a passing train, but if you do, it takes quite a while. Gets really crowded, and all the engines waiting, all the engines still running. So it gets a bit loud and polluted over there. So that should be gone soon. The construction is still ongoing. Now we're just going on the main road for a small stretch. See again on the right side, new construction there, or at least renovation ongoing. Going to take a U-turn as soon as the road is free. So you can't see, but I'm turning my head all the time looking for a spot to go to that U-turn there. And a spot is free, so just going to turn around there. Still waiting for the oncoming traffic to stop. You see the cars are coming really, really fast, so I'm usually rather waiting for a really long spot. That can occasionally be in rush hour. That can take a while, but there's no hurry, right? Usually, you can just wait, and as the main road still has red lights, at some point traffic will just stop. So yeah, you just wait it out. Sometimes you can't really judge that one car being so much faster than all the others. So it's always a good idea to be really patient there, like everybody else. See, everybody has waited, and then go together, flow with the traffic, and keep turning your head frequently on the main road. And as soon as we can, we're just going to stop, buy a few drinks, and then head through the smaller sois on the left side towards the beach, and just have a look. We haven't been to this particular area. Usually we've been in the opposite direction or much further along the road. But in the middle, we haven't really tried how to get to the beach. But not every road leads to the beach, but I would say every second one. So it's always nice just having a look, whether you're lucky. I think, yeah. So we haven't planned the route in advance, so we're just having a look. Where there's a small shop. That's one of the other surprising things. The 7-Elevens in Hua Hin are almost everywhere, but in this case here, we're a bit confused looking around for a moment because we didn't immediately see a 7-Eleven, which is a rare occurrence. Usually you've got two of them on every corner. At least feels that way. So yeah, we're just going a bit further and found a small shop here right on the corner. It's not a 7-Eleven, but still prices will be just about the same, just a small local shop, and we got everything we need. And then give it a try through these smaller sois. Still some plots of land available, some multi-family houses, some small townhouses. Yeah, fairly typical street. So we're already fairly close to the beach, but nothing is extremely overdeveloped. It's just still a good mixed neighborhood. Some businesses, some shops, some houses, and yeah, just a pleasant ride. As soon as you're off the main road, there's hardly any traffic, so Just beware some of the dogs in the smaller sois. Some artwork there. Yeah, the graffiti in Hua Hin is. I don't know much of the background. If you do, please comment. But most of the graffiti we see as I would say is really rather art than vandalism. So it has this theme of yeah, just a typical Hua Hin graffiti, and yeah, on most of the places we see them are actually quite enjoyable, and helps you also to remember particular soils based on the paintings there. And this is now the big road along the beach, just 200 meters left is all beach. So just going along, lots of restaurants along this road. If you go ahead, you can go right to the city center with Soybean Tabat, the Hilton Hotel, the fishing pier. But we're going to turn left as soon as there is an opening that leads straight to the beach and not through private property. Again, slightly busier road, but it's not the main road. So cycling here, yeah, even in rush hour, quite nice. Most people are just walking. Fairly popular with the local Thais to go to the beach in the evening, just to avoid the sun, as it's A, too hot, and B, people just don't like to get tanned. The idea of beauty is really being as white as possible. And we've arrived finally at the beach.
Good evening. We are Thale Hua Hin Beach. If you like this video, subscribe. Thank you.
Oh, that was just a great ending to a very normal day in Hua Hin. It's actually quite hard work to retire. I think it has surprised me that you have to really think how to keep your mind occupied and be busy, and going around with the bicycle is just for me at least, it absolutely works, because the what would take you just 5 minutes with a motorbike just takes a bit longer. You take some time, really just to fill the day. So instead of sitting at home drinking a beer, just go down to the beach, and it will help you sleep well. It's just this going and returning about 10 kilometers is just the right amount of exercise to get a good night's sleep afterwards. I think the camera picture, the camera is not that great. Actually, lighting is really good, so it doesn't feel dangerous. Good visibility along the whole main road. There are only very few stretches of road where it gets like 50 meters a bit dark. When we turn into the smaller soil, probably in these kind of soils there can be spaces that are a bit dark, but visibility is still good, and yeah, people are still fairly careful with all two-wheel traffic participants. So motorbikes are still very common. So all the cars are moving. Yeah, this is a really dark spot here. So yeah, I want to watch out to be seen, but otherwise, I think along the whole road, everything is well lit. Yeah, again, you see the cars all turn really slowly, so feels quite cooperative and safe to cycle here, even in the evening. Yeah, I've got some reflectors on the bikes. Don't see it well, but they're actually fairly bright once lit. And today we forgot, but also got some lights. And usually it's a smart idea to add some additional lighting to your bike. But yeah, it's not like in Germany, back home in Germany, you might get a fine for not having your light on. Here it's just a safety risk for yourself. Nobody will ever stop you about the condition or compliance of your bike with safety regulations. But still, yeah, I think overall, this is also a bit worrying. I think one thing that surprised me is the number of deaths on the roads in Thailand per year. Last time I read it, it was more than 20,000 a year for a country with a population of just around 60 million people. So that's a massive number. I think that's more than 5 times the amount of deaths in other countries, or could be even 10 times. And yeah, a variety of factors. The high share of motorbikes, low willingness to wear a helmet, and then also partly the geography of the country, I guess, where on rural roads it just takes then too long for accidents to get noticed first, and then for help to arrive. And even if it arrives, there's also some risk that then the next hospital is just very far away, and with healthcare not being on a perfect level for everybody. So basic healthcare would be very restricted. There's also still always the question around who would pay for it, which can delay transport, treatment, and so on. And I've heard other stories, don't no experience with it, but there's also um, the the private ambulances to cover the vast distances. So these will just basically be regular pickup trucks with drivers being trained in first aid, but no, they wouldn't have the equipment on board that a really full ambulance with a real doctor in it would have. So they are being paid on a drop-off basis, not for the treatment. So yeah, whether they drop off a person that has been helped to stay alive, or whether they drop off a dead body, is the same payment to them, and you can now think what is less work and faster money for them. So not saying this is a regular occurrence, but it definitely sounds like a system that is set up not ideal for the best treatment of people. On the way back, we're avoiding the main road. We're going still along the canal, which is on the right side here, but rather going along this smaller road, still well lit. There's also a walking path in the middle on the right between the two canals. So people like to take long walks there or play badminton in that clean stretch of land in the middle. Along the canal, also lots of fishing going on. So it seems people seem to think that the water is really clean there. Some people swim in it. I actually wouldn't, because the water, depending on its flow rate, smells like it's contaminated, at least occasionally, with stuff you don't really want to swim in. So I would avoid any contact with that water. Could be that you get used to the specific bacteria that live in it and cause the smell and the discoloration in it, but at least, yeah, I would personally recommend not to get close to the water in the canals, as if you're not sure that there's no spillover of canalization into it. I think that by now we've made it almost half the way up, because we're still along the canal. We're still at almost at sea level, but as soon as we turn left up the mountain, this is where the last 5 minutes can get really tiring. I think all the way from the beach back to this corner just took 7 minutes, and it's going. It's probably, yeah, maybe 3.5 kilometers, and we just have 1.5 kilometer to go, but it's going to take about the same amount of time. So when you see Min here, yeah, just trying to power through it, but it comes back to haunt you. You will just run out of power when you're trying to go up too fast. But if you're going too slow, it just becomes so tiring, because it takes such a long time. So yeah, we're both still struggling to find the ideal speed here, and it tends to become a bit easier over time, but we're probably not cycling enough to build up really strong stamina. But again, yeah, as it's off the main road, there's hardly any traffic, so no problem in going slower, no problem in going side by side, and just relaxing for a moment and then speeding up when you can. Yeah, see here, area is quite green. Just a friendly neighborhood kind of area. See about one motorbike per minute, or sometimes even less. But it's still, for a remote place, lighting is really good, and everybody you see is really friendly. So yeah, after dark in Thailand, even in a quiet area, doesn't feel scary. That's one of the things you just must love about Thailand. It's me originally being from Berlin. If you're out after dark, depending on the area, it's either really quiet in a scary kind of way, or lots of crazy people around. And so, yeah, especially public transport in a city like Berlin doesn't feel that safe. It may be, and most people are just going out to probably to party and have fun at night, but it always feels a bit weird. In Thailand, it absolutely just doesn't feel any different than the day. That's just great. Now making it through the slightly quieter stretch here than along the football pitch again, and almost made it home. But yeah, I think here you really see the road going up. It's just a struggle. and then we just have to make it past. Now it's just straight, but it's straight up. I think in some of our videos you see the really big mountains. Then we haven't tried cycling up the real mountain yet, so this is just the slow but steady incline all the way. You see cars are just passing by much faster now, so we can't do much more than 15 kilometers here. That's about the limit. Made it till the last speed bumps. Some people still having their shops open or sitting with the family outside their shops eating. Just a nice atmosphere here. One property hasn't cut the bushes for months and the road is half covered. Others have their lawns neatly trimmed. Yeah, it's always interesting to see how fast the flowers and plants grow here. And once it's cut, the whole area looks really different. But yeah, it happened so fast, or almost overnight. The plant life will recover any place that's not regular maintained. I think over here in this area, the right side is just fields, and left side is some houses where they take care cows, I guess for milk, probably meat, but I think it's rather for milk or for no particular reason. 3 or 4 cows, I think, and they will often be on the right side. So in the dark here, when we turn right, there's no lighting there. You can still see, but it's always wise to have a look where the cows are. This delivery guy probably is in a hurry, so hopefully, but he's got good light in the front, so he should see the cows. You see, one just got up and running away with a calf there. So nothing happened, and already see our cat is fine, just picking the safe spot up there. So good night, thank you.